our graph, and the t here, which is the x, it represents the time lapsed, and pt, which represents the y, represents the population. And as you can see here, here's our equation. This top number represents the vertical stretch, so how much the graph is stretched from the horizontal asymptote. And here we have our horizontal shift. Since this is positive 2, it would be negative 2, so it would move minus 2 to the left. So here we have our vertical asymptote. And then, as you can see, it starts from 0, and as the time goes on, it starts to increase in population. You can see here that our population was 0 in the year 2000, and then it starts to increase, but it never reaches 2,500.
The first thing we got was vertical asymptote, and we got this from this formula. We got the restriction that t cannot equal to negative 2, and we applied this number into this formula, and we got negative 5,000 over 0. And we applied negative 2 to the left and to the right, and we got the end behavior over here. So as the t approaches to negative 2 to the left, the p of t will approaches to positive infinity. And as the t approaches to negative 2 to the right, the p of t will approaches to negative infinity. And after that, we can get the horizontal asymptote, which we can get it from this formula. And by seeing the degree of both t of the denominator and the numerator, you can see that the degrees are the same. So we get the leading coefficient and we divide it by it, and we get 2,500, which is here. So by all of that, we can conclude the end behavior, which as t approaches to positive infinity, p of t will approach to 2,500, and as t approaches to negative infinity, p of t will approach to 2,500.
Well, as said before, p of t represents the y-axis, which in this case is the population growth. Here, in the graph, we can estimate, well, not exactly, the number of rabbits we can have per each year. For example, in the populations, when the population is 0, is the year 2000. However, as we keep increasing, the 2 will be 2002, the 4 will be 2004. To get this number, the number of rabbits per year, we have to plug in the number in the formula. For example, now p of 4 equals 2,500 times 4, which is 10,000, divided by 4 plus 2, which is divided by 6. That's how we get the 1,667 rabbits. As the time keeps increasing, we will reach to 2,500 rabbits.
The domain is all the possible values that can be used for x, but here in the graph we are using t. So all the possible values for t is all the real numbers except the minus 2, because it's a restriction for the t plus 2. And it means also that minus 2 will be the vertical asymptote. And the range is all the possible values for y, but here in the graph we are using p of t. And also it belongs to all the real numbers except the 2,500, that is horizontal asymptote. So